Have you ever said something in anger that you later regretted or wish someone had stepped in before a situation got out of control? Well, the Bible tells us a story about a remarkable woman named Abagail, whose wisdom prevented a massacre, and she changed the course of history. You see, David had not yet become king, and he and his men were living in the wilderness, and they were protecting the flocks and the shepherds of a wealthy man named Nabal. And when shearing season came around, it was a time of celebration and generosity. So David went to Nabal and respectfully asked for provisions for his hungry men. And Nabal's response was very arrogant and insulting. And in fact, he mocked David and he refused to help. And this made David very furious. So in that moment of anger, he went back and he armed 400 men and marched them toward Nabal's household. And he was determined to destroy every male in the family. You see, a single foolish decision was about to end in bloodshed until Abagail stepped in. You see, a servant of theirs came and told her what was about to happen, and she acted immediately. And without telling her husband Nabal, she gathered up bread and food and wine, and she ran out to meet David before he reached their home. And as she approached him, she humbled herself before David. She acknowledged the offense, and she appealed to God's promises for David's future and urged him not to stain his future kingdom with unnecessary revenge. Her words pierced David's heart, and instead of pressing forward in anger, he stopped. He actually praised God for sending Abagail and thanked her for keeping him from taking revenge into his own hands. A short time later, God himself judged Nabal, and David didn't have to. But Abigail's courage and wisdom accomplished what 400 soldiers could not. She brought peace. Her story reminds us that wisdom is stronger than rage, humility is more powerful than pride, and trusting God brings better outcome than seeking revenge. Is there a conflict in your life that needs wisdom instead of rage and anger? Before reaching and reacting, pause and ask God to give you the grace to be the peacemaker. One humble conversation may prevent years of regret. You see, God often uses one wise, courageous person to stop a disaster before it begins. The rest of the story is in 1 Samuel